transferring is weird, I think. I don't think anyone actually tells you how weird it is. It's not even like in terms of the difficulty of switching, just like a weird experience. I think for as nerdy as it sounds, it feels like traveling to a parallel universe. I think that's the right idea, like Earth 2 of sorts. Because like people look the same no matter where you go, at least on the East Coast. So it's like sometimes you'll see someone like, oh, that's my friend, I know them. Then you get close and it's like that's a completely random person. You realize you're in a new school. And it's like a weird area experience, I think. And it's like, I don't know, it feels weird because like it happens so many times. But I do think, I know some people say it's not the best idea to compare because comparison is like the thief of joy and all that. But I think that's true. But I also like to like assess stuff. I think I've been comparing the two schools, and I love both of them so much. I actually get sad when I see Pitt on my Instagram, because I'm like, oh dang, I used to go there, and like they're doing really cool stuff with like the recreation center and all that. But when I compare them, I think the person Pitt made me is allowing me to enjoy UMD much better. I think that's the best way I've learned to phrase it. Because it's not even a matter of like which school is better in terms of this or that, but it's more so I think my experiences at Pitt allowed me to enjoy UMD more. I think a lot of maturing I did. I did a lot of maturing at Pitt and I'm more assessing of like who I am as a person, my weaknesses, what I'm anxious about, what I really shouldn't be that anxious about, what I should just do, my failure points, stuff like that, right? Failure modes, I guess. Um, I think I really appreciate that aspect of this whole transfer situation because like it's so much fun. Like today was just a fun day. Like I don't even know how to put into words. I did some classes. I did a study. I already did a work session. I've actually done a work session like 2 years. I think that's a lie. But it was a fun work session. I think work on program it actually got me to think about explaining my code to other people, which I really really do. Right. A lot of the time I'm coding. It's mostly just me and my chat GPT or Gemini, depending on what how I feel that day. Um, but like explaining code to a person was really interesting. Just walking around the campus is really nice. I think I really like college campuses more. Um, like instead of like a city campus, but I don't know. I've only gone to two colleges so far, so maybe my third one will be give me the final answer. But it's nice. It's nice. I think it's a cool experience. I think there's obviously some friction when you do transfer. Like right now, trying to transfer into computer science program has been really difficult. Not even like getting to a computer science program, like the stuff that result, the after effects of you not being in the computer science program, but being someone who wants to do computer science. For example, if I want to take a certain class, I can't do that, even if the class has space if I want to go to CS career fair, that's a bit of a troublesome issue because I'm not a CS major, but I'm also not a major because I'm trying to get to a CS major. So it's like, what do I do? And then technically they ask you about your internships and they technically don't allow you to go to the opportunity that allow you to get internships. But also understand from their logic because like I'm sure it'll be very crowded. So you want to have your CS students in a selfless way have the best chance of success. Because if I'm there, then I get all the jobs, obviously. Um, um, but I do think it's like you have the good and the bad, obviously, with like most stuff. Um, but yeah, overall it's been nice. Though. I think a lot of it has been taking initiative. I think that's something at Pitt. I remember I think I did a video about this when I did my first tour at Pitt. And the idea was that even though I was going to be a freshman at Pitt, it wasn't actually going to be my freshman year, right? Because I've already done like high school, I've already done middle school, all those stuff. So it's not like you're just restarting life again. You have all the experience. So I think that's what it is with UMD in a sense. It's like that, but even better. Where it's like, okay, I'm not restart. I'm actually like really just doubling what I'm doing. And when I say double, I actually mean doubling because the way I phrased my first year at Pitt was that what I did in 4 years of high school, I did in 1 year. So what I've been trying to do at UMD is trying to do what I did at Pitt in half a year, right? And just keep on doing that. You know, it's Dallou's law. Yeah, that's a joke about Moore's law, but I guess Moore's law is meant to be exponential, but still. It's been cool though. It's been cool. I'm trying to think if there's any other news I can share. To be honest, I don't think there's much. I think it's just been a fun time. I have a grilling session with some friends. I also think that's another aspect of UMD I like that. Since I did grow up in Maryland, I do have friends in the area. It's just allowed me to be more social, just right off the bat, versus Pitt, which was harder to do, I guess. So I have a grading session tomorrow. But I think something that's also cool is that my the president of the SCB, who I used to work with a couple months back, because on the executive board, asked me if I plan on joining student government board here. I actually don't know the answer. I actually responded to it. I feel bad. Um, but I don't know. I think I want to. I still have that love for government. But one thing I've also been thinking about is how can I best position myself in government? Because ultimately, end goal presidency, right? But there's a lot of stuff in between that. I think I really want to approach it from a tech angle where it's like I have my field of expertise, right? Even with Pitt, that was what I was trying to do with the campus operations and innovation liaison. I didn't want to just be a master, a someone who I've called it a master of all trades, or no, someone with all trades but a master of none, whatever the phrase is. So I think that's the thing with government that scares me. If I just focus purely on government, I'll have like, oh, I have some technology here and there, like I know how to do print hello world, but actually my field of expertise is not something I'm an expert in. So that's something I'm trying to figure out how to do. There is a club on campus for that. I think it's called Science and Policy. So I have to go to more of the meetings. I also do think I think even from here on out, it's not just a matter of student government. I actually want to go more into government. And I've been trying to figure out how I can get myself there. There's a couple avenues. So I imagine with like stuff when it came to like big thing AI, one thing I emphasized with my application is that we're in Maryland, like we're the closest to DC of all the top AI schools, and we should take advantage of that with our knowledge, our expertise to kind of have a hand in how AI and the legal space, or I guess AI, the national space plays out. I think with the quantum thing I'm doing now, quantum is a thing that I think very few people are aware about. Like, so like if you read a paper about quantum, you know more than 99% people, right? So I think it's such an I don't think it's had that LLM moment for quantum, right? So once it does have that, I think there's a lot of power in that knowledge that you can use to go be useful in the government. Like, okay, how can I make sure this is used for good? How can I make sure this is benefiting people? So that's another thing that I'm looking at. So it's really a matter of like, trying to see what the layout is, and then trying to figure out how to best maneuver in that layout. So that's something I'm going to be exploring. But in terms of student government, I think I'm going to let that lie for a bit more for now, unless I see something that really calls out to me that says, you have to go run for president. But till then, it's really just focusing on the government as a whole. Besides that, though, I have nothing else to say. So have a great day.